All right, now this. Changes coming to the University of Missouri system amid escalating tensions and claims that the school ignored racist harassment on campus. Mizzou's football team said that they would not play this weekend unless the school's president, Tim Wolf, stepped down. Yesterday, Wolf and also the chancellor announced that they would step down in a shocking moment yesterday afternoon. Wolf says that he hopes that that move will mend fences.
We need to use my resignation. Please, please use this resignation to heal, not to hate. And let's move forward together for a brighter tomorrow.
It's pretty incredible. Leslie Marshall, Fox News contributor and Huffington Post blogger. David Webb is host of the David Webb Show on Sirius XM Patriot, a columnist for The Hill and a Fox News contributor. Welcome to you both. Good to have you here.
Good morning, Martha.
You know, when you dig into this, you try to figure out, you know, how do we get here? And the evidence that is listed is that there were racial slurs that were hurled at the student body president and reports of a swastika in feces on one wall. It seems, given the action here of the stepping down of the president, that what's underlying here is a bit thin, Leslie.
Oh, I don't agree. Those are two of many. There are women that have reported sexist events. There are other Jewish students that have reported anti-Semitism, at least two Muslim students that have reported anti-Islamic remarks. And when kids over the weekend were praying in a peaceful protest against the racism and the slurs not only uttered but spray painted on campus, there were two trucks that went by with huge Confederate flags. This has been actually percolating, if you will, for about the past year. So, quite frankly, I'm not surprised at the anger from the students. And this is not just about race and not just coming from African-American students either.
It seems like the catalyst that pushed this over the top was the football team photo. And suddenly they said they weren't going to play, which costs an estimated $1 million if they didn't play the Brigham Young game this weekend. And that seemed to make the president think a little differently about the whole move. And that's when he decided to step down, David.
Yeah, and Martha, by the way, if you look at the picture of the football players and how many are in it, they could have actually fielded a team. The football team is much larger than this, but this is the optic that got it started. You are right when you talk about what leads up to this story. It's more than just the protests and the alleged slurs. And look, if all of that, as alleged, is absolutely true, does it rise to the level of the resignation of a president and a chancellor? It doesn't. There are many other issues going on at University of Missouri. We now see a president that's resigned. The Board of Curators has accepted his resignation. But was the problem solved? That's the question. So I'm putting more questions than just talking points out here. Was the problem solved by this?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. You take a look at this situation, and it feels like one that should have been able to, be talked about, to be worked out, to deal with the students' grievances. But the fact that they were, able to push out the administration is really unprecedented in this country, and it raises a lot of questions about what's going on, frankly, on campuses across the country. I want to move now. Well, actually, before we do that, I want to show you another piece of video because this is another part of this same story. This is a mass media professor discouraging the media, oddly enough, from covering this story on campus. Let's play that.
Back up about personal space. Back off. Leave these students alone.
I'm walking forward. I'm walking forward. You're pushing me.
I'm being bored. We're walking.
You're not doing your job. You're not doing your job.
It's our right to walk forward, isn't it?
I don't know if we have it, but you can also see the professor in this. Her name's Melissa Click. And at one point, she's trying to push this camera guy off campus, who, by the way, had covered free speech issues starting in Ferguson and has gotten a lot of attention for his coverage of these issues. She says, you have to get out of here, and she calls for muscle. We need some muscle over here to get this cameraman off our campus. Leslie, really?
Absolutely terrible, disgusting. I mean, one of the things that I think everybody has seen at the University of Missouri is that they did not need to resort to violence to get ending.
So we're going to stay on top of this story. We hope that communications professor will come talk to us. Thank you very much to you both for being here today.
Thank you, Martha.